It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for the Walking Dead universe. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a very popular theory amongst the Walking Dead fandom, which has to do with what the endgame moment of the franchise is going to be. In this video, I'm going to go over a few things that they could do as an endgame moment, whether they can pull it off or not, and also whether it'll be disappointing or whether it's a fitting endgame moment for the franchise. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, before we jump into this, if you're not a subscriber and enjoy the content by the end, consider subscribing to join our community, share and smash the like button, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right in. Now, one thing I want to make clear is that this is not about the storyline. Like, we're not saying what the final storyline for the franchise should be. When you're talking about the storyline, at this point, the Commonwealth versus CRM is the most logical final story for the franchise, and that's obviously gonna be in the movies. But in this video, we're not necessarily talking about the storyline, we're talking more about the characters and moments between the characters. So in this video, I'm gonna go through some of the moments that I think would be very fitting for a final moment for the franchise. Some of this works best if done on the main show at the end of season 11. Some of it makes more sense for it to be in the third spinoff, which is the Carol and Daryl show, and some of it makes most sense to be in the final Walking Dead movie with Rick Grimes and Michonne. So with that, let's dive right in. Let's first talk about season 11. For season 11, I feel like the final moment that would be very fitting is some sort of a reconciliation between Negan and Maggie. Now, even though I'm saying reconciliation, I'm not necessarily saying Negan is gonna be forgiven for what he's done and that Maggie is just gonna let it go. That's definitely not the case. I'm just using that word more broadly. Their storyline is gonna come to an end. Now, obviously, there's several ways they could do this, depending on what they want to do with Negan and Maggie, like the two of them together and also them individually. But some of the ways that would make sense is either Maggie forgives Negan, exiles Negan, kills Negan, or learns to coexist with Negan. And as far as I'm concerned, the Maggie exiles Negan and the Maggie kills Negan are the two most logical ways that the story could go. We're getting into the story again. Let's bring ourselves back to the point of discussion, which is about the moment. The moment itself is about Negan and Maggie finally coming to terms with their past and moving on. Whatever moving on means for the two of them and the story. That's pretty much it as far as season 11 goes. I think other than the main storyline, which we're gonna see, and them pushing the story towards the third spinoff, the moment of season 11, I think, finally resolving the Maggie and Negan feud in one way or another. Moving on from season 11, we get into the third spinoff with Carol and Daryl. And this is where I think the second moment for the franchise could happen. This moment has to do with Daryl and Carol finally coming to terms with one another and where they stand in terms of their relationship. Now, I don't necessarily mean that they're gonna fall in love and live happily after. What I mean by that is that their story is gonna come to a point that their relationship is visible. We know where their stories are gonna take them, which is either gonna be together or separate. But I think the moment itself is going to be them uncovering the different layers of their relationship and basically giving us a resolution one way or the other. Now, obviously, that's not gonna be the premise of the entire third spinoff. If it is, then I'm out. I'm already out in some ways, but I'm definitely out if that's the case. But I'm just saying that a good chunk of, if not the main concept of the third spinoff, is going to be that, in my opinion. Something that's going to be focused on, maybe quite heavily earlier on, is giving us that resolution and that reveal about the two of them and where their stories are going to take them. And that's pretty much it for the third spin-off. Let's dive into the movies, which is the most interesting in my opinion. Now, unlike the third spin-off and season 11, there's a few things that they could do as a final moment for the movies. One of the things that they could do is a reunion between Michonne and Rick. That's obviously something that's expected. Like, everyone is expecting that to happen, so it's not really that shocking. It might even be a little underwhelming depending on how they do it, but this is definitely one of the most logical and expected ways that they could go in terms of a moment for the movie. Having Rick and Michonne reunite. Now, obviously, if Michonne doesn't come into the story in the first movie, then this is not going to be a first movie moment. It's more likely going to be a second or third movie moment, assuming there is going to be a second and third movie. But other than that, there is one other thing that they could do, which is bringing the legacy characters like Judith and RJ into the story. A reunion between Rick, Judith, and RJ. Obviously, that's probably down the line, maybe more towards the third movie, but that's definitely something that's on the table as well. And we could also have a reunion between Rick and Daryl. And we could also have both of these things. We could have Rick and Michonne reunite in the second movie, and in the third one, a bigger reunion between the Grimes family and Daryl. And the legacy characters, specifically Judith, taking the story forward, basically their way of bookmarking a chapter in the Walking Dead franchise and picking it up again with Judith at the forefront. So Judith Grimes would become our new Rick Grimes in the new Walking Dead era. And they could use Judith to have a rebirth for the franchise in some ways. But that's pretty much everything that I wanted to go through in this video. I'm definitely interested to know everyone's thoughts and opinions. Let me know some of your most favorite moments, either in season 11, in the third spin-off, or the movie. That's pretty much everything I wanted to go through in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to share and smash the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to join our community and press the bell to be notified when I upload. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.